I don't know about you, but now that we're doing this, any conversation I have in the gym, I'm like, store it, talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah. As people are talking to me, I'm like, must remember this. How can I write this down? And and look subtle about it. The thing is, though, it's such a natural occurrence. So many conversations happen on a day-to-day basis in the gym, and I'm sitting there literally thinking, this is content.
Yeah.
I feel like an influencer. I don't see the world the same anymore.
I do feel like an influencer. I do peace signs now.
Oh, no.
At the end of everything.
I pout. I pout.
Gymfluencers, that's the title. Gymfluencer is a title that I absolutely hate.
I feel a rant coming on.
Yeah, there's going to be a rant, and I've tried to not make any judgments when I'm out, but there's just a lot of time when gym equipment that you used to take was like, I take like my belt, maybe some resistance straps, things like that, knee supports. That used to be gym equipment, but now gym equipment is lights, tripod, assistant director.
There you go.
There's so many things now.
You got people as runners.
There's times, have you ever walked past someone's camera and felt really bad? And I know I kind of shouldn't, because they set them up so many. I saw one person who had 3 cameras set up around the squat rack, but they were quite small cameras, quite discreet.
Nice.
But then she's getting annoyed that they were so discreet that people weren't noticing them and walking past them, because they weren't next to the squat rack where you'd have seen it. They were further away to get a wide shot.
So every now and then I'll film content because I'm sharing content. I'm a fitness professional. I'm qualified. When I'm filming, I'm doing it at certain times of day where the gym's quiet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be so discreet that people don't see me and think,
one arsehole.
One arsehole, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, people, if you're going to go out there and influence people on the gym floor, fine. But be mindful.
You've got to be mindful. And the thing is, when I look around the gym and people are doing this sort of stuff, a lot of it, and it's so, do you know what the weird thing is? Your judgment comes from the type of person that's doing it. So, for example, and I think it's the stuff that I watch. So if I see a much bigger person that looks like they're at the start of their journey and they're filming it, I'm inspired by that.
Honestly.
And I'm like, good, film it, because I know what it feels like to look back and go, that's where I was, and look at me now and have that. And plus, I like those videos.
Yeah.
If you've got someone who's shredded, you're watching it and my thought process changes. I mean, there's a thin line between envy and adoration when I'm looking at people in the gym, because there's some people I go, yeah, you've worked really hard and you inspire me.
Absolutely.
And then there's some people I'm like, you probably haven't eaten in 4 days. And a lot of these thoughts have come from, a lot of the time, a place of envy, because I go, I do want that.
Yeah. I think if people are honest with themselves, the same thoughts cross your mind. It's the same when I'm driving the car and I see someone running. Yeah. I see someone slightly overweight, not your typical runner, and I'm like...
Someone at the start of their journey.
And I'm like, well done, you.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, God, I'm...
100 yards on the road, I see some elite runner, got their phone strapped to their chest, got water on their back, and they're just running in the rain, and they're jogging in the spot at the traffic lights. I'm like, come on.
I hate you. There's no need for that.
There's no need for that. You're making me feel bad now.
Do you know the videos with like washboard abs?
Yeah.
It's such a low body fat percentage that I'm like, is that maintainable? And you'll know more than I will on what you need to do to really, because there's having abs, visible abs.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's having 14 abs that have got abs on top of their abs. That part, I'm like, how sustainable is that?
That just reminds me of my 20s.
When you had those abs?
I had those abs in the 20s. I did not appreciate them. I didn't take care of them, and they left.
But how, did you have them naturally, or was that, how hard was it to keep it like that though?
Right, so in all honesty, because I was training a lot at that time, so my early to mid-20s, I was going through it. But at the same time, don't forget, I was dancing.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was also teaching lots of group fitness classes.
Yeah.
So but my calorie expenditure per day was in the thousands.
Yeah.
I was just abs like for fun. But it's not until you get slightly older and you're not doing as much.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're thinking, that pizza I had on Friday is still here on Monday.
Well, this is the thing that I think all of us of anyone that's born, I'd say 80s onwards. There's a 80s to the 2000s.
Yeah.
That 20-year period where we didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know that diet mattered.
No.
So I think we all did it. Remember when sandwiches were good for you? Yeah, eat all your sandwiches.
There you go.
Just eat sandwiches.
Yeah.
I remember being so active as a kid, playing basketball. I cycled everywhere, or we roller skated. We had so many activities that you could eat what you wanted, and it still fell off you because you were so busy.
Yeah.
And then as you get older and you start to move less,
Yep.
and you still eat the same sort of things,
Absolutely.
and you're like, I don't get why I'm putting weight on.
The truth is, people don't pay attention to the decrease in the activity levels as they get older.
Yeah.
That's why the gym is such a great place to jack it up a bit. I mean, it's not everything, because only maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's 168 hours a week you need to move. But I will say this, that PlayStation generation, that took away a whole lot of steps for people.
Yeah.
The kids. So yeah, like you said, I used to roller skate. A lot of us out here, people will understand, we'd be out all day moving. You didn't think twice about it. And in the 20s, you get a job. You start to become mature.
The amount of people that I've seen when they get their first office job and they don't realize until it's 7 months in that they've put on so much weight.
Right.
And you don't see it coming. And it's because all of a sudden you're sat down for 8 hours a day. You don't move. And oh my God, your eating habits in an office. Those days were the worst.
So I've never worked per se in an office environment. So I've always been in fitness. I was in management for a while, but I was never confined to a desk. But what I did find was you become the end result of the culture in that place.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, so I've always said your body will adapt to the lifestyle you give it.
Oh, preach.
Right?
Love that.
Because there's some people that I did a show at the weekend and I was working with this contortionist and she does not go to the gym. But if you see how shredded she was, but again, it's her job.
Yeah.
So her triceps were ridiculous. But all the things, I've got friends of mine that I've met over the years that do things like aerial work, acrobatics. And there's this one guy, and he is so strong without really ever having to go to the gym just because of his work. It's like even people that aren't, they might not be in the best shape, but they have very physical jobs.
Yeah.
And that makes them, like you look at farmers.
Oh, yeah.
And like the whole reason we do farmers carries around the gym is because that your body will adapt to the lifestyle you give it. Steps are important.
Oh, so important. It's a basis.
And when it comes to steps, there are a group of people that make me so angry in a gym. It's people that I call zombie walkers. Let me explain what a zombie walker is. A zombie walker is a person. Do you know when you do an incline walk on a treadmill?
Yes.
Yes. So people that do incline walks on a treadmill that put it all the way up to level 15 and then hold on to the top, walking like zombies. You don't walk like that. When they do that and I watch them, I'm like, you've just lost everything that was good about that exercise.
If you are that person, if you know anyone who is that person who holds onto a treadmill, cranks up on an incline and holds on for dear life, stop now. You're taking away the benefits of the exercise. It's an incline. Work your quads, work your glutes, work your cardiovascular system. Let's go of the bar.
Use your arms. Get because it's your on an incline. So I do like an incline walk, and the way that I do it, and this was how I got back into doing cardio and fitness. Because when I had so long out, oh God, I had so long out of the gym at one point, and I found out. Do you know when you look back and you go, not only were there signs, people try to give you polite warnings. At my biggest, I think I was 154 kilos, and not in a good shape, 154 kilos. And I fractured my ankle playing rugby. And the doctor told me, you're looking about 6 to 8 weeks for it to heal. Okay? I went back 6 to 8 weeks later, and it still looked like I'd just done it. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, you told me 6 to 8 weeks. And he said to me, you've got a lot of pressure on it. You need to relieve some of that pressure. And I'm hearing him, but I'm not hearing him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, you mean sit down more? Oh, that's fine. I'll do that. And he was like, no. I was like, no, doctor, I've got it.
No, I'll take it.
You mean sit down more? You mean wear trainers all the time and sit down more? I'm hearing what you're putting down.
I got this.
Yeah, and he just, I think back now, just disappointment in his face. And I realized there was so much weight on it, it wasn't healing. And there was a guy in the gym who did nothing but walk for like a year and a half. And I saw the weight just fall off him. And I thought, I'm doing that. I'm going to copy him. So I started this incline, and it took, the whole thing takes 23 minutes. I put it on level 3.5 to 3.5 miles an hour. And every minute I put the incline up 1.
Okay.
Until I get to 15 minutes. And then every 30 seconds after that 15, I bring it down 1.
That's quite a nice little workout there, actually.
Yeah, 23 minutes. And then for the last 7 minutes, I just walk, so it's half an hour. When I started it, I couldn't complete the whole up to 15. But the nice part was I then knew where my braking was.
Yeah.
So I knew, my thing is, you're allowed to fail, but you're not allowed to quit.
Absolutely.
So I would start walking, and I think when I started it, I'd get to level 7 and go, right, that's enough. But then I had to continue and finish the half an hour. And then every time I go, right, I got to level 7, I now have to get to level 8. And I kept doing it until I got to level 15, and I was able to do the whole thing.
Again, it's a mindset thing.
Yes.
Also, you've made it achievable. You knew what you had to do.
Yeah.
It didn't change. It's how you dealt with that intensity. It's how you dealt with that. Because like I said, the length of time didn't change as such, did it?
No.
The work didn't change. You had to get better to achieve it. And that is the gym. People go into the gym and expect to be great at something first time.
Yeah.
And when they're not, become disillusioned, disheartened. They think, oh no, I can't run 5K. Very few people can go from 0 to 5K.
It's good to fail.
It's also good to fall.
Yeah.
Because some of those people need to let go at that high point.
Yeah.
Let's see what gravity does.
I see people with PTs, and my gym's got some really good PTs. And I see the difference when you've got someone you can work with, but it definitely is a partnership.
Yes.
The PTs that I see, they've got very much the same kind of philosophy. They don't go, this is going to be indefinite. They go, right, I'm going to get you to a place in the next 6 months where you don't need me.
Thank you. I've ranted about this for years. If you've got a PT who's been with you for years,
yeah,
come on. It's about empowering your clients for them to go off on their own.
Yeah.
That PT client breakup is emotional.
Yeah.
But it's got to happen for them to fly. You should keep reevaluating your journey. So I've got clients who've been with me for a while, but they're sneaky. We hit the targets and they change a goal. So we stay together and you go, okay, fine. But I don't want to be just an accessory to your life. You've got to keep working towards a goal.
But some people need you. Like for me, I need a goal. I am useless without a goal. I cannot go to the gym and just train. I need a reason.
Yeah.
I will get bored really easily. If I know I'm doing a show or there's something I need to be in a certain condition for, I've got a goal now. There's a reason for me to be there.
See, which is my entire career.
Yeah.
It's my entire career. So it's that whole discussion where people say, should your PT look like they work out? Now, there's lots of thought processes behind it, but me on a personal level, I feel better when I'm in an okay shape.
Yeah.
Because of my job, I want people to look at me and go, are you a fitness person? Well, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, as a PT, what you don't want to happen is someone go, what do you do for a living? And you go, I'm a PT. And they go, really?
Really?
Are you?
Not just the head tilt. That's not me.
You go, does PT mean something different in your job?
Wow.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No.
Plus, I think you can look like what you want.
Yeah.
For me personally, a PT, it's not just about you being in shape, because like I said, your body adapts to the lifestyle you give it. So if your PT is in shape, that to me says they practice what they preach.
Yes. And I fully agree with you on that one. And there's lots of people out there who get triggered by this discussion itself, because they're saying how I look shouldn't interfere or shouldn't affect how I do my job. And I'm like, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, you're right. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
But there's a lot of things that shouldn't happen that does happen.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not asking anyone to change their shape. I'm asking them to do whatever is good for you. But for me, if I'm preaching about doing certain things,
yeah,
and I like to preach about balance, because anyone who knows me knows I like Haribo.
I hate Haribo.
This just got real.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, hate's a strong word. My problem is I get really annoyed at bad advertising or something that I perceive to be bad advertising. So as a rule, if I don't like the advert, I don't use the product.
Oh, that's deep.
But it's pointlessly deep. It affects no one else apart from me for no reason. And Haribo, it started a few years ago when they had an advert where there was this family in a petrol station singing about getting petrol and getting Haribos. And at the time, petrol was like £1.60 a litre. And I was like, no one has ever been that happy buying petrol or £1.60 a litre. I hate this advert. And then they started doing the adults with the kids' voices. And I can't deal with it. Like, do you know what? I've not had a Muller corner in years because of Nicole Scherzinger.
Oh.
And it's the first one, good advert. But then after watching 3 years of adverts where she keeps knocking stuff over and then getting a little bit on her nose, I'm like, you can't eat a yogurt. And it just bugged me. So I was like, I don't want it.
And here's me thinking that the Haribo thing was because of your dietary nutrients.
No.
Because your calorie deficit.
Nothing.
It's because the ad
Nothing to do
on your last.
I get really annoyed when there's a product that I like and then they bring out an advert that I don't like. I'm like, well, no, I can't use it. And I will sit there waiting for the next round of adverts just so I go, is it going to be a good one? Yes, I can have McDonald's again.
So how do you feel about the L'Oreal adverts? Because
well, lucky enough, I don't have to.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
That was a hurtful dig of what you just did. Like even down to my aftershave, I use Diesel Just the Brave because I've never seen an advert for it, and I try not to watch it because all adverts for every single perfume, aftershave are all ridiculous. None of it made any sense.
Dude, do you know what I'm hoping for? I'm hoping in the next couple of years, you and I get asked to do a perfume advert.
Oh, I'll do it because they're paying me money.
Yes, cash money.
My integrity is directly linked to my bank account. I have got a couple of questions. How much and who's going to see it? Which I'm pretty sure is the slogan for OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
But how much and who's going to see it?
Right, dude. All right, with that in mind, I'm going to flash back to my breakthrough DVD, which I did with Jordan.
Right.
Okay. Katie Price. I'm sitting there like, okay, it's my first gig. I'm going to shoot a DVD. I'm going to be famous. I was like 28, 29 years old. I'm like, this is the one. We walk on set. The set's all pink. And I'm like, it's all right. I'm a fitness person. We got this. They walk in. This is what you're going to wear, Richard. Baby blue top, baby blue shorts. I'm like, no, I can't do this. But then I looked at my contract and I thought,
yeah, I can do this.
I can do this.
I can do this twice.
I can do this twice. I know that. I'm going to put a grapevine Mambo chasse in here.
Would you go to the gym in just a thong and train for a good like hour and a half session for 5 mil?
5 million?
Yeah.
For 5 million?
See how your face changed straight away? Because as I started the sentence, you had no ready to say.
Yeah.
But 5 million, and all of a sudden,
I went full on Borat.
You were like, what thong? What kind of thong?
Yeah.
Mankini?
Dude.
G-string?
Yeah.
I'd go to a prison gym for 5 million in just a thong.
5 mil.
I'll go to a Mexican prison gym for for 5 mil.
Dude, seriously?
Yeah, I'd ask for a spot.
In a thong?
Yeah, 5 mil.
In a Mexican prison?
It's 5 mil. Talking about gym fails, people that don't pay attention when de-racking a barbell. And the amount of times you see someone who, and I'll be honest, sometimes this is the only exercise that I will leave the weights on because I want to see it happen. So if after a squat session, I will leave 3 plates on each side, hoping that somebody will, and you see it so many times, walk up, take the first plate off, second plate off, stop paying attention, take the third plate off, and then just see the whole thing go.
And just watch the whole physics experiment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I've seen that happen so many times, and it makes such a big noise that everyone's looking.
Yeah. That kind of thing. That's not just a gentle bump. That's a crash, bang.
Everyone's looking.
I've taken 1 or 2 weights off, and I've seen the bar lift, and then my heart has stopped.
It happens so many times.
What's your most embarrassing fail in the gym?
I tripped over in a gym, and it was one of those. Remember our conversation how everything's funny till it happens to you?
Yeah.
This is one of those times where this was not funny at all. It wasn't funny, and I think to my face, everyone else in the gym thought it also wasn't funny. But I imagine when they left, there were some tears of joy. And I was on the squat rack. It's one of those powerlifting plates.
Okay.
It's a really, really nice one we've got. But it's got bars on the edges where you can stick resistant bands on to make it. You know which one I mean?
Yeah, I know the one.
So you can make it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But they're the same color as the base, and also the same color as the floor. So it's very easy not to see them. And I was training with a friend of mine, and I've gone over to the little bucket where they keep all the attachments to get a belt. I went over there to get one of the belts. As I'm walking over, I misjudge my step and I trip over the thing. But here's the problem. I'm walking whilst I've got my hand in my pocket, so I couldn't get my hand out quick enough to stop myself, and I couldn't grab anything to stop myself. So I've literally just free fallen into a bucket of attachments, which made as much noise as knocking over 3 plates on a bar. So everyone turned around and looked. But I'm in a bucket now, trying to sort of wiggle my way out quickly, and you try and jump off and style it out, but there's no styling it out.
Styling out.
And just the look on people's faces where, do you know where they want to laugh?
Oh, yeah.
But they're like, don't. And I'm looking, I was like, don't smirk. It was the worst. It took me a minute to laugh with it.
Yeah.
Because it also hurt, and I did want to show it.
Oh, yeah, you can't show that.
They're like, man, you bleeding? I don't care.
Yeah.
I did. Where am I bleeding? I can't even feel it.
My most embarrassing fail wasn't even that long ago. So every now and then I'll do a finisher or I'll do my bicep and shoulder workout. I'll get a disc. I'll have like a 25k disc, and I'll do a bicep curl into a shoulder press. Okay. So bearing in mind it's a disc, and it must have been about 2 years ago. I'm in the gym. I'm doing curl press. That's it. Curl press. I'm like, yeah, I'm going for it. I stopped looking in the mirror because something distracted me to the side. And I sort of turned my head slightly and came back. As I came up and stushed that 25k disc right up into my nostrils on the way up at speed, right? So it went conk, all right? And I kept going all the way up. But the worst thing is, though, you know when you hit your nose and your eyes start watering?
Were you crying?
Dude, I'm starting it out like, I'm carrying on. Curling.
Everyone else just thought you were really emotional.
I'm crying. I'm curling, I'm pressing, and I'm blubbing. Right, you know, your eyes stinging, and I'm just keep it going. They must have thought he's going through things, man.
Gym fails are amazing, especially. I mean, if they're going to happen, I think you've got to laugh at yourself sometimes with it. I've done all sorts. I've hit myself in the face with a bar doing curls where you're just not paying attention, and you shouldn't be able to do that. Have you ever I've dropped weights on my feet
countless times.
Yeah, and every time I try and act like it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and it always really does.
I don't wear big, heavy trainers. I tend to have like kind of Vans or flat things, so it's canvas.
No one does. I very rarely see people doing anything that is going to protect your toes. Like, it's going to happen.
I know. There's a couple of dudes at my gym recently wearing Timberlands. And I'm like, they're just wandering around doing... I wouldn't mind if they're doing like squatting or deadlifting or... No. They've come from the building site straight to the gym.
See, I'm okay with that now. In a gym, and I think this happened a lot through lockdown as well, where I was training, I converted my garage, and I was in there through lockdown training. And there's something about being at home where me personally, I like having my shoes off.
Yeah.
So there's times, so even in the gym, if I've gone for a long run before I've done a workout, I want to get my shoes off because I've just run for a long time in them. I need to get them off. And I'll just train without any shoes on. I don't know if that's probably one of the most African thing I've ever said.
It's up there.
Yeah, but I find it so comfortable. And then I see other people in there, and I've seen people with like, again, builders that have come in during the day, and they're still in they're still in their work clothes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you're comfortable. And I'm thinking there's certain things in a gym or just training where it's much more about aesthetics over function.
I totally understand it, yeah.
So when I see people squatting in Vans or I see people squatting in Converse, it makes sense to me now because the sole's flat.
That's it.
Well, there's certain trainers that are horrible to squat in.
Yeah. You see some of these running trainers where it's like a massive wedge of sponge.
Yeah.
You see people squatting or deadlifting and you're watching their feet just...
Yeah.
It's like the Titanic.
Yeah.
It's just moving left to right, so I know what you mean.
So now I'll be like, okay, I get it. I know because when I go to the gym, I want to go comfortable.
Yeah.
So I think being comfortable, I mean, there's a time to push a comfort zone, but you want to be physically comfortable when you're in the gym.
Well, I've also seen it, and I was in London recently.
Yeah.
Leicester Square.
Yeah.
And they had people there set up with a chin-up bar.
Yeah.
You'd win £20 to hang for 90 seconds.
Is that the bar? But the bar spins, right?
The bar spins ever so slightly. You just could grip hold of it. The amount of people who were queuing to give people their £10 to win £20 who are hanging on for dear life.
I've seen there's a guy in Edinburgh who'd done it for, I think his prize was £50.
Whoa.
And it was £10 in and you get £50. And I only saw one dude do it. And this guy... I was like, he's a gymnast because he was so comfortable.
Yeah.
And he just closed his eyes because once you try and adjust your grip,
it's all over.
It's all over. I've had people try and do it reverse ways and that still doesn't help because it's naturally going to do that. So you kind of need to be able to stay there and very few people could do it. I don't even try and do it.
See, whereas the opposite for me, we went with some friends and they were like, go on, Richard, you can do this.
Could you do it?
My ego said it's possible, but there was too many people around and I was like, I don't want to fail.
It's weird how many people want other people to fail at stuff.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But it comes from a good place.
Does it? You want them to fail, makes us feel better. It's so easy to see something bad in someone else to make yourself not look at the badness in you. And that's the joy of a lot of TV. I can watch other people being idiots.
Yeah.
And I can feel better about me because I'm going, well, they're worse than me.
Oh, yeah.
And it is, I mean, a lot of this, what I like about being around the gym environment is most of the people I see in gyms are there to better themselves.
Yeah.
They're there to get something positive out. And I really like being around that.
Yeah.
All the stuff, every time me and my friends go to the gym, we have the most random conversations, but they're the best conversations.
Yeah. And also train with people who do things completely different to what you do.
Yeah.
I like training with people I've got a couple of friends who train like the high rocks and the CrossFit.
I do that one. There's the abductor, and then what's the one on the other way?
Adductor.
Right. So the abductor when you're pushing out.
Yeah.
I find it really hard to not feel sexy.
Do you cup your butt cheeks as you're doing it?
So I just feel like one of those, one of the gym girls that look really cool. And when it's one of those, I just feel really.
See, I've now got the most horrendous image of you doing that in my head.
I'll tell you now, if I'm doing that and someone looks at me, if I make eye contact with you, I'm keeping it.
I knew you were going to say that.